over the weekend. I sent you my cover.
Okay, so I will pull that up. I'll go into my email and pull that up. Remember though, you have to send your work. It's due this week. So here is your. It's a CMYK ad, or is it the article? Alicia too.
No, it should be the cover.
Well, I'll show you what you sent me. So I'm sharing my screen, right? No, why is this not
No.
sharing? Okay, I got from you week 2 assignment. It's a CMYK ad, which I think is the other class. Then something on an article. That article was from the
I also
kid,
sent you,
the child, right? From week.
and I also sent you an email asking about.
Right.
Hold on
The
a second.
the article is from week 2. And then here's one for the cover. Is this the one? Alicia?
Yep.
I would assume that it's this one. Oh, great. Alicia
Yep.
Keys.
I sent
Very
you as a
good.
PDF and as the.
Yeah, two-step brownie, gourmet, 100 much must have. What I would worry about is maybe so many changes in type. Remember, 2 fonts. So you got a lot of different fonts going on here. And some of this is kind of confusing. You probably can't see my screen, can you?
I can see it.
Okay, so what I'm worried about is like areas in here. Let me zoom in on this. Like right here, like all you need to know about investing. Maybe this is sort of a challenge to read. So we'd have to, in the word healthy living, maybe get some more contrast in there. The overall look of it, like here you have clever way to stretch your home, Um, that's a great idea, but that's one type of font, that's a font, that's a font. It looks like you're using some of the same fonts, but try to keep them down to, 2 or 3, because then you change it here to a different type of font here. Do you know what I mean? And then what's up with this housekeeping, this H up here? See how it goes to a
That
different
was
color?
difficult. I was trying to create a image trace, but it wasn't really working. So then I tried to use a magic wand to like take out the color in Good Housekeeping, and that works kind of, but not really. So then I tried to I sent you 2 files, a PDF and I think it's a Photoshop. But the reason I sent you 2 files is because my computer had like kind of crashed a little bit, and once it came back up, it came up as a reload, and I couldn't like make any edits because I wanted to do like uh uh shape gradient in the background for the
Oh,
pink and purple to create a uh, um uh contrast, but I
yeah.
couldn't because when I tried to redo it, it said
I don't know. I didn't get the other article.
you didn't. Okay.
No, and then the article would be from Blackboard. So the article is how to successfully, right? It's the one on education. So you go
Okay.
back to week 2. Let me share this with you. You go back to week two's assignments, and then uh, maybe that was in week 1 even that you got that. They're always on the assessments too on the left hand side. So here is the magazine cover.
Mhm.
So here's the original directions and the magazine article. So all your
Okay.
resources, here's the article, and
Cool.
this was the article of how to help your child succeed at school. So this was the
Okay.
text, and then what you had to do was to good housekeeping. So everything is
I remember
saved. Oh, you
I couldn't
remember?
find the text, but I
Okay.
think for the cover, I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing all over again.
Oh, why? I think it's a fantastic start.
I know I like it too, but I can't make any edits to it because everything before um I started putting the text in, it's kind of like frozen, like rasterized, like how it is.
When can you share your screen with me? Maybe
Um,
tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Okay, you'll be at your station Wednesday, so that way I can help you
Oh no, wait.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow probably. Tomorrow I will be. Tomorrow I
Okay,
will be.
that'll work. We'll set a time, some time to go through this, and
Okay.
I'll give you some pointers like on how to fix this.
Okay.
On the header here, as long as these are still separated into layers.
Oh no, they won't be. They won't be. It'll be just be it'll be something like a reload or like or something like a re. You'll see it, but once I press it, I won't be able to like undo any layers or
Oh no!
do anything to it. It's frozen like how it is.
So you don't have the original. You have the original file. It just won't let you edit the.
Exactly.
Oh
Exactly. Yeah,
no!
it crashed in the middle of the not the computer, the application crashed.
Oh boy! Cause see, like I would have to. My work here would be like I have,
Mhm.
no longer sweating the small stuff. So on here, because
Yeah.
this is, um, I could probably
It's
revert.
it should be pretty easy though, because I just be copying from myself on everything I did. We're just making the minor touches that I need to make it look better.
Okay, as long as you're comfortable with that, so
Yeah.
I have my text in here. I only use two styles of text. So my font was Bodini 27, and then I used an Arial. And I just switched back and forth. So I tried to
This
keep it a limited, but today we'll work on the fine tuning of, like how to keep your text so that there's contrast. So I lose my text here. So I may kick this out, so that it's so that and then I'll put a like an outline on this font. So I have to work today for this particular example. Work with maybe making the font more legible. Like legibility is everything for people to be able to read it. So I may put a like an outline around it, and then the outline that doesn't really work. So I'm going to have to figure out like how to keep this contrast on with maybe even a box, like how you put a box on. I may have to find this blue and put it within that box. So my struggle today is, and the struggle is real, right? How do we make the contrast for legibility on typography? So, I may have to work with my layers and add different boxes so that I can bring this type out a little bit, because I have to make sure that this is above the photo of that woman. So that's above it, but now my text is behind it, or my text is in white. So go ahead. You were going to say something?
Oh
oh
no.
yeah, that was me. That was I was like, what was the site that we had to go to get the double fonts, or was it just like a site the site that showed you what fonts go together?
Oh, yeah, those were suggestions. Really, if you do
Uh,
a serif sans serif, that
yeah,
kind of helps like readability of information. So some tricks on here for editing. I may put like an outer glow on this or something to like have it stand out. So I somehow have to make this text pop out, and the right one will work and the wrong one will make it look terrible. So I've got to be able to find um, the right one, and if that doesn't work, uh, some other tricks like with these drop shadows, you can actually change the color of the drop shadow. So I could make this a paper drop shadow so it's white, so that there's more contrast. So I have a dark font, and I'm trying to break this out a little bit so that it gives it a lot of contrast. But blue on this blue, a variation of blue, might not be the right color. So I have to, because people have to read this from pretty far away, and you have to assume that the readership of this, like some of these people might be, colorblind or they can't see. So this is a big deal. Like, how do you get this type to come up out of this photo? People have to walk, they could never read this. So this would never fly because this is so, I can't even read it when it's zoomed in. So I would have to work with this. So some things can be text boxes. We can look at how they handled it. They handled it with just a white swimming pool background, and they never really had the text touch her body too much. So they always had to make sure there was enough contrast in there with text over the body, or, they went white and then blue, black, but it's on a light background. So my struggle is that I have too much of a photo.
I'm here.
Okay, hello, excellent. So we have Blake. We're just missing William. William's not here. Oh, William's here.
I'm here.
Okay, you guys want to share what you have on your? So Assad, you're going to share, and William, you're going to share on your Good Housekeeping cover, and then your
Yes,
type.
thank you.
Yes.
Can you record this for me?
I believe I am. Yes,
What?
I am recording this.
All right, thank you. And then can you just like upload it into Blackboard so when I get home I can just rewatch the video?
Yes, I emailed you one from the previous class on the student wrap up. It takes like
All right.
hours for them to upload, but I'll try to get them uploaded today. So,
All right.
okay,
That sounds good. Thank you.
okay. Yeah, Blake is at work, like Shaquille. She had to work a shift for someone that passed away, so she's doing a special work shift. So we're trying to accommodate people, but you'll have to do this for like homework, right? So the idea is today is to get the contrast. So Assad, can you share your project, your cover? And William,
Okay, hold on
you're
one
going to
second.
share your cover? Shaquille emailed me his, and we looked at his earlier today. So this is kind of like our review right now of what we've been working on. And then we're going to jump into the lecture, and then you'll have time to work on this, because this one's due, the cover and the article. It has to look like Good Housekeeping. So you can't make anything else up. It's got to kind of follow their design rules. So you're kind of mimicking the best out there. And it's a good, they sell lots of copies of this magazine. So it's successful. So the idea is to copy success, right?
Yeah.
Copy things that sell. And then you can work on your own style as you see fit, but this stuff works, and that's this project's guidelines. So I'm just using the rubric from this project, and that is to make it look like good housekeeping. So Assad, can you share?
Is it sharing right now?
No,
Is that? Oh, it's not.
I'm not
Okay.
seeing.
Try again.
Oh, beautiful picture. Okay, all right, and you're on the right track. Make sure that this article, how to succeed, how to promote student. What was the name of the article?
Yeah.
That
I was just about to, because I was about to put that at the bottom.
how to
I was
help
about.
your child
I was about
to succeed at school.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
that,
about to put that. I was about to put that like at the bottom or something like that. But I got to put like 15 things on here.
yeah. So you got to really figure out like keeping that Melanie glowing with secret skin care. You're gonna have to tighten that up because it's
Yeah, I
taking
might have
up.
to probably make it smaller or something like that. Because now I'm looking at it like I ain't gonna have enough room for 15 on here with the size of this one or something like that. So I'm gonna have to probably change the size and it. And
Yeah.
I got a question. How do you get rid of the what's it called? Is it a hyphen or something? Is it a hyphen?
Okay, get paragraph open. Open your paragraph. So
Okay,
go to
I was trying to
window,
figure that.
window
Okay.
paragraph. Right, we don't do hyphens.
Yeah.
Command
So
T will
oops.
open up your type, and then
Hey,
no, you got to
paragraph.
go to window,
Oh, window.
and then type into tables. Type in tables all the way down.
Type it. Okay.
Open up character and paragraph. So you want to open up paragraph as well. Now open up paragraph.
Where's that at?
Leave that open. Go back to window, to type in tables, to paragraph. So on the bottom of paragraph in the left-hand corner will be a check mark, hyphen. Uncheck that.
Okay, cool. I was struck. I was like,
Perfect.
how do I do? I forgot how to do that.
Great
All right,
question.
thank you.
Yep, we don't do hyphens. Designers, if we can help it, never on a title, never on these. So you could, Assad, put like keeping that Melanie glow, or
Yeah.
maybe even rewording that Melanie's secret skincare tips, right? So you could reword that to make that Melanie's glowing secret skincare. Melanie's.
Cause I was thinking about, I don't know, for some reason I was thinking about Rihanna and her skincare products and
Oh yeah.
makeup and all that other stuff like that. So
Oh
that's why
yeah.
I was kind of like even that.
People love to hear those stories, right? They're gonna buy that magazine to find out skin's, style. It's really home and personal style for females.
All right, I think this right here.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, wait, with something's spelled wrong there. Keeping that skin glowing, skin with.
That's Rihanna's skincare product. That's why I put Fenty. It's called Fenty.
Oh, okay. Keeping that glowing skin with Fenty skincare. Okay, perfect. Maybe interview with Melanie too. Just do a interview with Melanie above it. Do or Melanie's at the very top with a Bodini 72. Is it? Use that Bodini font.
Okay.
They seem to use Bodini or a font similar to that. It's got a real thick and thin. They do serif, sans serif fonts, so they do a good mix. Like they split the title with the with a different font, so you could put her name on top because she's the feature of that magazine.
All right. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. All right. I can stop sharing.
Contrast, yep, contrast matters, so you're going to have to figure out the contrast. So, William, can you share yours? Hey, Assad, how you doing with the article? Do you have the article set up on the other page 2 and 3?
No. Yeah, yeah. Because like I
Yeah.
said, oh yeah, my thing got deleted, so I decided to put the article back there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
show
that.
me your page 2s and 3s with the article. What do you got for the article?
I haven't. I haven't. I said I lost my USB, so I got to put those back on there.
Okay, so add pages 2 and 3.
Yeah, I forgot.
Hi,
We
Shaq, we
did that.
can see you now. We see the top of your head. William, you going to share your screen? William? William,
Of course. Too.
you out there, William? Well, I don't know where. I don't know what happened. And Blake, you're working on yours, right?
What did you say?
You're working on your cover and your pages, correct?
Yes, I'm working on that. I can't keep talking like on and off.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm trying to distance.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay, okay. So we're waiting on William. Can you share your screen? Okay. Well, we're gonna go on. I'll go back to sharing my screen. So Shaquille, you're okay, or Shaq, you're okay with making your changes? And this is clever. The quick room makeovers, he's changing his font color. So that's very clever. I like that. And then Alicia Keys definitely shows up. I think maybe the healthy living's got to have more contrast. It's a beautiful font. It's just sort of loses its place right in the folds of that her jacket.
What if you change the background instead of the background being like the purple or something like that? If you change the
It could
background,
be a beige, yeah.
yeah, like if, you know, what I'm saying so this way the healthy living part is still show because when it says like VING that last bit, it
Well,
kind of fades. It
it's
kind of like is
it's
into the purple.
see how
Yeah.
the H
Kind of
is
messes it up.
lost though?
Yeah.
See how you can't see the H? So
Yeah,
this
and I
is
had that problem a lot with the background competing with the words. But also too, maybe if I put the change the opacity of the person and the person, maybe that would help out with like with the watch your money. If I
okay.
change the opacity, watch your money will pop up more probably. Don't you think?
Maybe. Yep, you got to work with that. So this week is going to be working with type, and the struggle
And
is real for us, right?
yeah, and then also too, I didn't know if we could use like different types. I had like four or five. Honestly, I did have like four or five different types going on, but I thought that's what it was like. What it called for. Like you said, serif, sans serif, serif, sans serif, but you meant like in the same family,
Yeah.
not like different.
Oh, yeah. They kind of keep it. They are one to stretch. Maybe they would go 3, but I don't think they go beyond. It's usually 2. They go back
Yeah, I
and
had like
forth.
five.
Yeah, so you might want to scale that back a bit.
Yeah, that's really easy.
Okay, and then you just have to make room for the article that you're doing. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still
I can take one out though.
okay. So that's just our little like review of what we have to do. So I
Mm.
too have to work with my type today, and we'll work on that later on after the lecture for um, and then somewhere you got to put in that it's America's biggest lifestyle magazine. So all that type that took every bit of 45 minutes to put that type in, and then you'll need like their code as well as their logo of the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, because they usually put the Good Housekeeping seal of approval next to an article. So I still have to knock out that background or make that transparent. So they usually put that seal up somewhere, and you can see it on this cover. So the 15 gadgets you need right now, the Good Housekeeping seal of approval is usually put on a product line. So it could be makeup, it could be so that Good Housekeeping seal could be put even to Alicia Keys or I'm sorry, Melanie's product line.
All
So,
right.
and I still have to put my article in here somewhere. I'll have to delete something or, figure out where it's going to go. So there's a lot to all of this. So great job, you guys, for sharing so far. The two of you,
This,
the other ones, I just have to see your work.
this week,
Yes.
how do you So I got the text boxes. So how I just copy the how to help your child succeed, and I just put it in the text box.
Yeah, could you add, and I chose to put mine in columns, so I split columns. And then you do so when you place your text in here, you're going to have to do what we call a continuing of text from one box to the other. So
How you do that?
watch what happens. So this is what happens when I zoom in here. If you do that correctly, if I space this, everything else moves, right?
Yeah.
So what will happen is you'll put your text in a column, and in the lower left-hand corner, you'll get a red box. So I'll do that here. I'll make extra pages. How about that? And I'll show you. So I'm just going to add another page. So here I'm going to add another page for this demonstration. So here's my other page. So if I have two columns, and I'm going to grab that article, right? So you copy this, select all, Command A, Command C to copy. We're going to make a column, two columns. Well, for me, you're going to make 4 columns, right?
Yeah.
You can't go to the middle. So first you make your columns. You copy paste them, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to have these columns have to fit to the next column. So I'm going to make another text box. So I need this text to auto flow to the next page. So this is the trick right here. There's going to be a red box down here. It's a red box with a plus. You click on that red box until you get this type. You have to click on it a couple times till you lose the red. And then the text is on your selection tool. You'll go to the next cell that you made for placing text, and then you'll click, and then it'll auto flow. So down here, I need more space because it's auto flow, and it's showing up as errors on my pre-flight. So my pre-flight says you got errors going on. If I add another page, right, and I add a text box, so I'm going to add, they're into columns. So I've got this, I can use my selection tool, click on that article till that red goes away. It's usually a double click. Click again. I still have to make another text box or frame to fill. I'm going to use my selection tool, click on the red box, and it's usually twice, and that's how my text flows. But when you add your titles, so I'm going to make this bigger, it's going to change everything. right? So it changes everything totally. So this will be bold. This will be, I'll just go through and I have to break this text out so people will find that flow of interest, right? You're going to make things bold, mix it up so that it's interesting to read. So people like to read the graphics too, because you're leading as a graphic designer, you're leading the audience through the article with your graphics. So you'll add spacing wherever you feel needed, to lead them through. So when it's linked like this, it'll do this overflow, right?
Right.
So that's what you want. And remember, we want to make sure that none of that will take the hyphens right off. So uncheck hyphen, and that'll even change your font. So you won't have any of those awkward, then it's a case of using character and paragraph tools to do your tracking, kerning, your leading, to make it look right. So this is where we're dressing up the page to make it look visually appealing. You want people to stop at your article above and beyond anyone else's in that book or that magazine, but you still have to kind of follow their guidelines. So they'll use like page breaks, lines. They give people's eyes time to rest, right? So everything is not just here's a bunch of text and you have to read it verbatim. We dress up the book or the magazine. Whatever we're tasked with, it has to look good, and pictures work, right?
Yeah.
So here's something. If I was to put a graphic, and this is not a graphic, but if I plopped a graphic in the center, let's say this was a center page, and this happened to be a graphic, you can do things like word wrap, right? So I have this up, and I want my text to wrap around this picture. Under window, there's text wrap. There's a button called another panel. And then you do what we call wrap around the edges. So now the text is actually wrapping around this graphic. So the text just went longer on this last page. So even if I move this, like if this was a picture into the article, the text is going to wrap around it. So right now it doesn't wrap totally around the object. That has to do with wrap to both right and left. So you can say, do you care if it's wrapped to the right side, wrapped to the left side? So if I move this into something, see how the text wraps around the picture so you can keep reading it?
Yeah.
So you could have a picture of a kid studying in here and the text will wrap. People love to read articles with photos and imagery in it, right? So mine, I just have this photo, one photo, and here's a kid studying. So if I move this kid studying in here, it's floating on top right away. So one I'm going to alter and one I'm going to keep. You got to be careful how you grab these pictures. If I do a word wrap and make this smaller, we really don't want to go out into the spine too much of this article. But I could show a picture of, and this is sort of a cool picture. It's a kid surrounded by books. So that's why I picked this article, because it's pretty, or photo, because it's pretty generic to the story, right? I gotta undo this because my text container is centered, but I have a container and then the photo. just so you know how these work. One is, I'm gonna just delete it. Delete that container and go back and get this again because it wasn't worth the fight. So I'll make it, so ideally this would be a different photo. Right click, I want to make sure this fitting works. The image containers are going to take you time to work with. But once you get good with working with them, this is where graphic designers make their money, in the look of the magazine. So you could make $75 an hour making a brochure or something, make it look right. But it really is to make it look right for the buyer, right? They're just trying to sell either information or they're trying to sell a product. You're trying to get people to buy the product or read the article, right? So you could round these out and soften this picture up so that it's more enticing to read. So here's a nice little picture in the article, right? It's just a picture of a kid studying, but really it's what this article is all about. How to get your kid behind the wall of books, right? Because books represent knowledge. So if you can get a kid to read, it kind of fits the narrative. The idea is to find the right pictures. So don't find something about how to help your child to succeed in school. Don't pick something of them, jumping off a cliff, because it's unrelated to the task of what you're trying to sell to the public and the people who read this and the publisher. So they want a nice, attractive drop cap. They use a lot of drop caps here. They use a lot of these dotted lines. They change color in their text, from that link that I shared with you to go through their book. They use very clear, concise pictures. None of it looks childish. Everything looks very mature for the audience. We noted that the average person who buys this magazine is making between $50,000 and $75,000 a year, and they're female. They don't want to look at a magazine that looks childish. So you have to match to the narrative. Kids can be, of course, any sex, but think about preferences of what women like, because that's who you're designing for. And that's the job of a graphic designer. You don't want to make it look like a 15-year-old kid designed it for a boy's, video game, because it won't fit the narrative. So every demographic has a different style and taste. You have to have multiple hats to find those looks and understand it. If this was a hip-hop magazine, we wouldn't make it look like this. It might be a little bit more pizzazzy, there's more panache to maybe the hip-hop audience, right? There's more bling. This isn't going to have all the bling. It's going to be kind of more conservative, right? So,
Right.
you know what I mean? You find the audience. If you do a hip-hop magazine, that's where you'll have cooler graphics in the background. You're freer with the look of the urban setting, because they write about life, their poetry about life and living in the city is how I perceive that. A lot different than this urbanite magazine. So this is definitely suburbia America, and it tends to be a cookie cutter look. And cookie cutters sell to people. That's what we got to be careful of. So you have creativity and resources for that, but you got to kind of match the target. So we as graphic designers will always have a target. and we always have to match the target. It's not always about, well, I feel like doing everything in green today. I may have some latitude in the green, but I can't make everything look like it's, about an environmentalist magazine. So I can't always put my style into someone else's work. They're signing a paycheck to me, so I work for them. They don't work for me. If we become, we're making $500,000 a year designers and people are looking for us to design for them, then we could say, you know what, I'm going to change the look of this. I'm going to change the look of your magazine for my article. They may go for it. But for the most part, you're matching your style. But that's okay because that's what we get paid for, right? So, if we're a chef making chicken wings and we're using Frank's hot sauce, we don't come in with, um, Texas Ted's barbecue sauce and pop it on there because people might not buy it. They're not familiar with that flavor. So we got to kind of be careful unless we indicate that we're making a change. People might not change with your change. So I'm going to run through lecture 3. Is everyone okay with the review and where we're at? And anyone
Yeah, I think I survived.
anyone feeling rebellious saying that I'm wrong? That you have the right, and it's good to be a rebel, right? So rebellion
Right.
makes things look different, but you got to know your time and place and when to be that rebel designer. Follow me? Some of this, you got to fit the mold. So package design. Now, this is interesting. A little carry away with salmon treats and banana treats. And do you think this designer was a rebel coming out with the first style like this? Or does this style or package design look like everything else in the world?
Oh, no, it looks a little different. It looks different.
Okay, William, what are your thoughts? William?
Yeah,
William?
on the designer being rebel or not.
Yeah, I mean, this is the logo, the look. What does it look like?
Looks like a cookie bag to me.
Yeah,
So
cookie
I
bag.
think it's relatively plain. It's not really quite rebellious, I guess.
Okay, maybe not, but it's a brand new look, right? So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess.
know if Shaq and or Shaquille or Blake can see this, so I'm not ignoring you guys. You can interject whenever because I'm not sure what you can see or not.
Okay.
But can you see it? Okay, I don't know what that meant.
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you could see this or not. Any thoughts on what it looks like? What are your thoughts on it?
Basically, I feel like packaging is like the first thing you see before you get a product. So you see the logo, you see what it's about, you can put your mission statement on it, stuff like that.
Okay, so do you feel like it should be, is this suitable for if you wanted to buy your pet a treat? Would you feel safe in buying it?
Yep.
Okay, so it's important that we make that opening statement. So each of these package and design makes a connection to the next one. The change is in the color, right? It's gluten lactose free. They all say that gluten lactose free. They all will give you the ounces, the maybe special labeling about dog treats. It all has the same logo on it. It's really a color change and the name of the particular treat. So it's a good unified package and design. Um, it 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 lists as a brand. And as Shaquille was suggesting, we look at that brand before we purchase, and we should feel comfortable with it. And it should be unique. So that's important. They create that visual verbal language to resonate that language to the audience. There's that you try to make sure that you're not giving a cultural marketing disaster, right? So if we were to market a package for maybe China, white is what they wear at funerals, right? So if we package something in black that's maybe a funeral flower or something, they may find great offense to that. So we have to make sure that in culture that we're kind of not politically correct, but we're aware of how different colors mean different things to different people. Like Catholics, in the springtime, purple is very important. It's like a Catholic color for Christ is being born. So, it's not just for Catholics; it's for a lot of theology people who go through religion, or want to dress for maybe church. They might wear a violet outfit or a little because it's a very spring color. For different people, it means something different to them inherently. Um, so we obviously need to know who the audience is that we're marketing to. Um, in this grouping, everyone is very conservatively dressed. It's very muted colors, very toned down. There's not a lot of bright colors. So this is what we would call a sophisticated audience, where they're using color in deeper tones and hues. So this adds value to this meeting. If we were trying to market to a child, we would use really bright colors like Fisher Price red or the blues or cyans. Primary colors are for primary, you know, kind of thought processes. When they get into these deeper tones of hues and values, you tend to develop what we call maturity in the story. So this looks sort of inviting if you wanted to talk about something serious. It has a level of seriousness to it. Um, and this is obviously a coffee shop, maybe where you would want to meet people or just socialize with a certain group of individuals with maybe that like mindset. So you really want to learn about your client. You need to ask a lot of questions, do a lot of research on what they do. In order to succeed, you need to fail. So failures are very important as part of a learning experience. So maybe they had a product that failed and you have to redesign it. Um, Goya, I'm going to bring up Goya because Goya's in the news, but prior to Goya being in the news, they are the only product that has a supermarket within a supermarket. And if you've ever shopped for Goya beans or Spanish rice, all of their products are put together. They're like Campbell's could have parts of their products sold sporadically around the store. Goya insists that theirs all be kept unified. So at the Goya, you won't find like their coconut water in the water department. You'll find it in the Goya department. It's like their Goya shelves. And you need to pay attention to that because that has a lot to do with the branding and the culture of how they're marketing their product. Of course, now they're in the news politically. Somehow they become politicalized. But Goya has a huge plant in Angola, New York, that does a lot of their Northeast packaging for like globally. So it's a huge company locally, and it's a very cultural company where they're dealing with For the most part, it's Spanish eating the Spanish culture styles of food products. Anyone ever buy their product before? Anyone ever?
Not that I can remember now.
Okay, next time you're in the supermarket, take a little field trip and look for their product and watch how they did that
I know,
whole
I've seen it.
branding. Yeah, they're the only product in America that is allowed to do that. They made a contract that if you're going to sell their product, that's the only way they want it displayed. You can't put a Goya baked bean and put it with the beans. You have to keep it with the Goya. So it's really interesting how they got that marketing branding package through to all the grocery stores in America. So it's kind of cool in a way. So research everything. If you're going to do a product label for Goya, you're going to want to know what the rest of their products look like because it has to stand next to their product, not next to a Heinz product or Hunt's or a Campbell soup can. It's going to stand with their product. So that's an important inside tip about that. So you want to know the history of the product, read up on the brand, know as much as possible. These people are meeting as marketing, advertising people, and they're making sticky notes, and they're probably cross-referencing who knows what about the product. They're trying to keep it happy and whimsical, but you could also have a formal and fancy kind of outcome or goal for your product. What's the big idea? What's the mission of your process in marketing this? You got to keep it clear. You have to know what the concepts are. You're going to want to draw mood boards to show your goals, to stay focused, because we're visual learners. We often work better with visuals to accompany our verbal or written statement. We're trying to find solutions, and a lot of those have to be with the drawn picture. So the best way to do that is start sketching, start thinking, doodle about what your thoughts are. Some designers keep a sketchbook by their nightstand. They go to bed with the problem. They wake up in the middle of the night with a eureka moment and they're sketching away. They may fall back to sleep and then they may have an answer in the morning. So it's very important that you're presenting and you're thinking about that client not 24/7, but not just in a 1 hour blink of time. You just don't want to spend 1 hour on the client. You want to really give it some time and thought to make your ideas germinate and grow into that successful process. You need to support the brand as well. So it's very important that you add and answer these essential questions to your whole process. So you want to answer the who, what, where, when, how, why, and how. Often these essential questions are used when you're writing a paper, but we also want to apply these when we're designing an ad for our ideas. So we want to answer the who, what, when, where, and why. Ask a lot of questions. You're going to connect with the customer, meet with them. This could be done virtually or in front of them. You have to keep a notebook and write down your ideas, right? If they tell you something, you kind of got to write it down. You can't pretend that they didn't tell you what they needed, right? You can't, if they wanted it done in a certain purple and you give them something in green, they're going to be like, what is happening here? Why are we not communicating? And if they suggest changes, you're going to want to make those changes, right? So that's always very important, that you have a good sense of dialogue with them as well. Direct mail marketing is huge. Direct mail marketing is still a weapon that people use. Have you ever gotten a direct mail? Have you ever gotten your name on a piece of mail in the mailbox? Anyone?
Oh, from something that's like that. Oh yeah, like what, like Spectrum or something like that.
Oh yeah, where your name is, dear Assad. We noticed, you
Hey,
know.
Miss Winky. Hi.
Okay, so direct mail would be your name on the article, right? So we're trying to serve autism. So we want uh, this ad to come to you. So
You said
direct,
direct mail you?
no, we're talking about direct marketing and direct mail.
Mail you?
Yeah,
And do what?
I'm talking about it.
What? Okay, Miss Winky, I gotta go.
Okay, I'm talking
Bye.
about that. This is a topic. So here,
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
no.
Alright, bye then.
Okay, so here is where it would have your name, like Dear Assad. This house is for sale in your neighborhood, and you can own it for $849. So they'll put your name in here. So your name might appear in the mailer everywhere in here, right? So it would say Assad, tired of paying rent. And the next one that would be printed would be Shaquille or Shaq, tired of paying rent. And the next one would say William, tired of paying rent. And then it would say Barbara, tired of paying rent. And Blake, tired of paying rent. That's what direct marketing is. It's using the same ad and ad placement and just adding a name to it, right? Because we're trying to personalize the information sent out to the client. So it's very important. So it could be a piece of junk mail that is the same over and over and over again, but it's got your name in it. So your name is very important. It actually adds 10% to the interaction between people communicating back to you. If it's with your name, if your name is in there, there's a higher percentage of you replying to it because it makes it feel like you are important. So they find that direct mail is supposed to um, help in marketing. So direct marketing can give you the 40-20-20 rule. It can help you plan for a future in sales growth. So the success of any return on an investment, especially for your direct mail, is going to be dependent on three factors. 40% of your success will be based on how good your mailing list is. So we want to have an active mailing list of maybe people who are interested in the product. So if you're using existing clients, then your mailing list might be the best it can be. If you're looking for potential clients, that's a little bit out in the gray area. So another 40% depends on how compelling your offer is. I have a free giveaway for a car. I'm sending out 1,000 keys. One of you will get the key to open up the car. So how many people do you think will show up for a $30,000 car? We send out 1,000 mailers with a key in it. Will we get all 1,000 to show up with the key to try to see if it'll open up the car? Probably not. We'll probably get an 80 percentile come back. Out of those 80%, only one key opens the car. So 200 of those people might never, they'll just throw the mailer out, they'll throw the key out. So out of those 800, you still are out of the odds of 1 in 1,000. So maybe those 80,000 or 800 people show up or reply. Let's say 400 of them show up in person, and you have to be present to win. The other 400 have something going on. So the odds now are still 1 in 1,000, but only 400 people show up. They're at the dealership, so they're going to try to sell them a car, right? We got these people to come in. We're going to try to get them on another list to try to sell them a car because they're here because they want a car. So maybe out of that 400, they get, 50 people to buy a car, and no one wins the car, right? Because the person who didn't show up threw away the key. So we've put nothing out there, and we've gotten 50 people to buy brand new cars for $30,000. Chances are that car will eventually be won, so we'll have to give away that car at $30,000. So for every one car that we give away, we maybe made 100 car sales. So that's how they look at these things for marketing, right? You have to be willing to give something to get something. So it costs money to be in business, correct? The important part is that when you're presenting, it looks very visually clean, easy to read, and there's no weird fine print where you're not really giving away a car, right? You have to be present to win. You have to reply to this by a certain date. And that happens. Has anyone ever gone to one of those events?
No.
Well, I was 1 in 100, and I ended up winning hockey tickets to a hockey game instead of winning the car. So it was a free lease on a car for I think 2 years. So I didn't win the lease of a car, but I won, $150 worth of hockey tickets. So it was worth it for me to go there to pick a duck or whatever they had you do. You had to play some games to go advanced. They kept my name and number, and to this day, they're still trying to sell me a car. That's considered crucial for their mailing list. They're going to keep communicating with me to try to sell me a car. And someday I may buy a car from them, right? It's very important. So they're direct mailing now. I'm on a mailing list. You can offer one-time incentives, and that's 20% off your first order. So these are the 20% that they're giving you. 40, 20, 20 is the math. And this is sort of the game in marketing. The final 20 will be everything else: the design, the verbiage, the image, delivery date, method of delivery. We're worth 20% of every ad that goes out. So every dollar that comes in, we don't get 20% of it, but we want to make sure that we're aware of what that value is. What is our value as a graphic designer to bring in business? It's very important, and we need to know what that value is, correct? You're a value when you work as a designer. You want to know where they're at. Ask them questions like, well, what's your goals? What's the mission? You're trying to make pizza coupons, and they haven't worked in the past, and you come in with your great ideas, and suddenly pizzas are flying off the shelf. You want to make sure that you're aware, and that they're aware that you're aware on how well you're designing, right? If you make the bad pizza coupon and no pizzas sell, they're not going to want you back, right? Because you're just another designer. You want to be the designer that sells the pizza. So your designs have to look terrific, right? And then you'll work on the next ad and maybe glean a little bit more money for your advertisement. It's also how you sell yourself as a graphic designer. I helped Nino's Pizza sell, 100,000 more pizzas last year, and I'm now charging $150 an hour to be your graphic designer and marketer. The first ad, I worked for $75 an hour to get them to selling 100,000 pizzas more a year. So if I go to work for the next Pete's Pizzeria, I'm going to let them know that's my price, and we would work out a contract to help them sell pizzas. Does that make sense on where your job can lead to?
Yep.
Okay, good. So it's really the gift of gab as well, and you really have to understand the audience. You want to ask questions about how your role within their company will help them be better. So that's very important. So letters are personal forms of direct mail communication, and the result rates are 4.3% with direct marketing response rate. It seems low, but it's actually a good response considering the amount of junk mail you get every day. The most popular sizes are a number 10 business envelope, Monarch envelope, like a 3.8 by 7.5. Those are popular. Letters, 9.5 by 12. What you want to do is grab the attention of your recipients right off the bat. A pop-up or a three-dimensional format box, a tube, a bag, um, anything that might have a little bit more expenditure to produce and ship might be the thing that will drive that response rate up because it's different than all the rest, right? Mailing postcards can be 4.25 by 6, a double postcard, an oversized postcard of 9 by 6, and a jumbo 11 by 6. We're coming into the I want to run for political office campaigns, right? The money that goes into campaign finances right now in advertising is huge. If you ever want to get into that, communicate with your local party. If you're a Republican, reach out to the Republican Party. If you're Democrat, reach out to the local Democratic Party. If you're an independent, you could do any party, right? But those people spend and spend and spend and spend, right? It's nonstop until November, right? You're going to see people shaking your hand and giving you a card and mailing stuff to you about how great they are. It doesn't end. The vanity at this point in politics is it's about everything. So they want to look good and they want to sell you something. So people will put ads up in their yards and bumper stickers and T-shirts and hats and flags and everything it's all about politics. In November for ad, how much do you guys think that the political parties spend each year in America?
Millions.
Okay,
I
let's
don't know.
take
Yeah, probably millions.
I would think it would be so campaign ads 1 billion, and that's just digital ads. Spending on the US is ads to top 1 billion. Facebook, Twitter, who else are people on? They just spend and spend and spend. Looks like 59% is going to Facebook. Can you make a Facebook ad? Can you make whatever other is? Google ads. A lot of it is Facebook. How about that? Why Facebook? And also Google and Twitter. So e-marketers are really looking to trend that, right? That's a lot of money just in digital. That's not in print. So it's huge. if you can get involved in that type of advertisement, who cares what party you're in, right? Those are good paying jobs. So you might see yourself getting involved in Facebook, making ads for maybe a party you don't believe in, but it's helping you pay your car payment, right? Do you care at that point if they're paying the bill? I don't know. But please be careful on political, what you feel is right and what you feel is wrong and what is real when you have to pay the bills, right? We all can be not bought and sold, but we all have bills. Death and taxes are the two things that are guaranteed in life. And you're always going to have to pay. So think about that. You know, every 4 years, there's a lot of money being spent on ads. So get involved if you can. Maybe you'll be in that 1.4 or next time it'll be $1.4 billion just on digital ads. So it's a big amount of money. So that you have a little bit better about what it takes to be an advertisement. You're going to create Max and Ruff's new treats. So you're going to make a dog treat page. So we're going to take a look at design full Bow Wow treats, photographs that change the world, how to create direct marketing campaign, household dairy, 200 commercial letters, flats, and parcel. And we're going to take a look at this direct marketing video. So this is a quick 3-minute video.
Digital technology has given businesses a range of new channels through which to reach their customers, from email to social media and beyond. These digital channels have grown so quickly that many expected them to become the preferred choice for marketers. And yet, through it all, direct mail has retained its status as one of the most effective marketing tools available. In fact, the average response rate for direct mail is 30 times higher than it is for email, the medium that was once expected to replace it, with better response rates. Now let's look at building a successful campaign. Spending time on the basic building blocks of a direct mail campaign is crucial to success, especially when it is going to run across borders. And 80% of success depends on targeting the right people with the right offer. So there are 5 questions that are always worth asking. First, who's the target? Are they businesses or consumers? Are they male or female, young or old? Being clear about who you're selling to and asking the right questions will provide that all-important focus for every other step in the planning process. Second, what does success look like? It should be possible to summarize the outcome you want in one short sentence. Finding one clear call to action is the best way to drive that result. Including discounts or incentives are known to boost results. Third, what about the creative part? Use of color and clever folds can make an impact, while QR codes, augmented reality, or embedded audio and video can heighten curiosity. But format, size, and weight all have an influence on postage costs, and this varies in different countries. Fourth, how do I send it out? Quite simply, it's all about your data. A good quality mailing list is necessary to reach the right person at the right address. That's easier said than done. People move and change jobs, businesses shut down, and there are 200 address formats across the world to get right. With the right data, it's also possible to tailor messages to the intended recipients, and that can increase response by up to 50%. And using direct mail alongside other media channels can help to spark conversations with customers. Fifth, how do you know whether your message got through? As the saying goes, you can't manage what you can't measure, and having the capacity to handle responses, whether that is brochure requests, call center inquiries, or data capture, is vital. Direct mail doesn't have to be complicated to work. Planned well and integrated with other communications channels, it can literally help you bring your marketing message home. To find out more, visit www.ascendia.com/know-how.
Okay, so that's an idea of direct marketing it. And we'll take a look at these Bow Wow treats. So you've got to wrap up your good housekeeping, and then we're going to start on the treat page. So this will be do the next project. And this is about the Bow Wow treat is a food truck with a unique treat. It's a vendor of homemade dog treats and jerky. So the client is the Bow Wow treat truck, and the services are logo design, identity design, branding, vehicle wrap, print design, and page packaging design. So the brand character is fun, energetic, vibrant, young, and fresh to appeal to the demographic with an active lifestyle. Made with love, Bow Wow treats are organic and handmade and made in small batches with high nutritional value. So these are the logos, the brand assets, and the blue and yellow are the colors dogs can see the best. They need to be a cohesive customer experience with a clear brand voice. And they'll use it for their marketing materials, t-shirts, ball caps, business cards, the packaging, even a bowl. So you want your dog to be super happy with doggy bags, and it should be upbeat and fun. So you're going to take this doggy bag peanut butter cookies home for your puppy, and they'll look like doggy treats. So a lot of cute photos. The vehicles are the faces of the brand and the first impression. They need an eye-catching, whimsical experience with a key marketing element. So again, we use bright, solid colors and big graphics to draw the eye. So bright colors really are primary colors, are brighter, less sophisticated, but they carry the eye, right? They carry the eye to what they're trying to sell. And it's adorable to see this on a food wrap. So this is a concept, and then someone is making and selling the homemade treats right in the branding area. So it's a true bold, fun brand, and you can start your project. And actually, they're asking you to like what you're interested in. So this is how this marketing company, Design Half Moon from Connecticut, made that particular site, or what they did to create it. So it's kind of a fun, innovative process. So there's more in their portfolio. They do other designs, and it's just nice how they did the branding, and they went through in their website to kind of talk about how they created that. So you're going to have a project coming up in your assignments for that next week. So this is GRAD240, you're going to have to do a diagnostics today. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in week 1. I apologize. I had to go back for the project. I'm like, what am I reading here? Sorry. We'll take a break shortly, and we'll take a look at the assignments. Your magazine cover is due, as well as your flat plan, and you're going to do a check-in, and then you're going to start on Max and Ruff's direct marketing package. So that's coming up, and that's due week 5. Right now, you should have your cover being worked on that's due at the end of the week. So, can anyone share their flat plan with me? I sent that to you last week. Anyone have that? Anyone have that done?
Yeah,
William?
I don't have that done yet. I'll have to work on mine this week.
Okay, William, how you doing on your flat plan?
Same as him.
All right, can
I'm
you
still working on
guys?
mine too.
Okay, you're gonna work on. Always go for the big points first. So the visual project is worth more, right? And I need to see what you got done over the flat plan, right? Let's look at the value of these numbers. It's really important that you go for the big ticket items first, right? So you got those from week 1. We're in week 3. You want to be wrapped up with those, right? You've had them for 2 weeks. Hopefully you've been working on them all along. But work on them according to the points. So that's your help succeed your child at school. I don't need that. The magazine is worth 15% of your overall grade, right? The flat plan is worth, I think that's part of that, right? That might have been in week 2 that we started that. So you should be pretty much wrapped up with that good housekeeping. The flat plan is worth, that's worth 10%. So 25% of your grade is due this week. So you got to have both the flat plan and the good housekeeping. You're going to want to look at the rubrics, right? And make sure that they're correct. So we're going to take a break here till like 2:05. Will that work? Take a break till 2:05 and then come back? Or 2:10? You want to break till 2:10?
Sure.
Okay, and then we'll come back and work on your projects. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. William, you still there? Alexa, set the alarm for 10 minutes.